Hello everyone, my name is Kyla Miller and I'm going to do my oral presentation for our senior thesis. My paper is entitled To Treat ADHD, ADD with Prescription Drugs or Not. The treatment of ADHD or ADD has been largely associated with the use of prescription drugs called stimulants, such as Adderall and Ritalin. The big question is, do these drugs have adverse effects on children, and do they potentially cause substance abuse later in life? Using an integrative approach is the best way to help us get the best understanding. With the use of addictive disorders in recovery, we will be able to see things from the perspective of psychologists, addictive counselors, research about prescription drugs such as the Ritalin and the Adderall, and really get to see the side of what it means to be an addict when it comes to these things. When we use human development and family studies, you'll be able to get a deeper understanding of what it means to have ADHD or ADD, and you'll get to see that from the perspective of the family. You also get to see what it is like on a day-to-day basis with a child suffering from ADHD or ADD, and again, you can also see this from a psychologist's perspective who studies human development and family studies. Either way, using these two disciplines will help us get the best understanding of how to properly treat someone who has been diagnosed with ADD or ADHD. Now I'm going to introduce you to the problem. ADHD, also known as Attention Deficit Hyperactivity Disorder, is a neurodevelopmental disorder that is marked by not paying attention, being hyperactive, having poor impulsivity control, and affecting a child's ability to function, and it affects their cognitive development. According to the Center for Disease Control in 2011, 11% of children aged 4 to 17 have been diagnosed with ADHD or ADD. And of those 11%, 6% take prescription drugs such as Ritalin or Adderall. These prescription drugs that are used to treat ADHD are called stimulants. And again, the most common type of these medications are Adderall and Ritalin. When someone has ADHD, this medication will calm them down and help bring them down to a normal level or a homeostasis level. When someone that does not have ADHD takes a stimulant such as Adderall or Ritalin, it makes them feel high and gives them a feeling that they want to keep going, so they continue to take it and they become addicted. According to the Addiction Center, a full-time college student is 2 times as likely to abuse Adderall than peers who are not in college. This goes back to continually taking it and maintaining that high that they want to achieve. If this drug is this addictive to full-time college students, what will it do to those children who are aged 4 to 17 when they take it? When someone is diagnosed with ADHD or ADD, it takes its toll on the individual as well as the family of the individual. When someone suffers from ADHD, they suffer in all aspects of their life, such as their home life, their social life, and even their school life. Hutchinson states, parents may find their lives greatly altered by the addition of a child into the family who requires extraordinary time and attention. According to research, most parents are okay with their children taking prescription drugs such as Ritalin and Adderall because it brings them back down to a normal functioning level. But they are worried of how it will affect them later in their life. They want to know if there is a possibility of their children becoming substance abusers because of trying to help them. Through research in the discipline of addictive disorders and recovery, researchers can gather a better understanding of if the prescription drugs that are being used to treat ADHD or ADD can cause behavioral issues or if they are a potential gateway drug. The Psychiatric Times in 2017 took a look at ADHD and substance abuse. They found that ADHD and substance use disorders frequently co-occur in adolescents and adults. However, there was no correlation between taking stimulants and being a substance abuser. Stimulants are mostly abused by people already suffering with substance abuse. And this goes back to when those kids in college that are full-time students are taking it and they're abusing it in the wrong way. Through research and through the discipline of human development and family studies, one can learn how ADHD or ADD affects families and how big of an impact a family may have on a child's behavior. Having a child with ADHD or ADD is a daily struggle and is extremely hard on parents when the children require so much attention. Children with ADHD suffer daily with these things. They suffer from being able to stay focused, or they can be over-focused. They have poor listening skills. They struggle with feelings of failure or of shame, and they struggle with the inability to do things on time or in the correct order. A study done by Gallen and Humphreys in 2017 determined that there are links to ADHD or ADD people having substance abuse problems to cope with their issues and their side effects of their neurodevelopmental disorder. Now I'm going to share with you an excerpt from an interview that I did with a woman and her son. Her son's name is Cooper. He is 7 years old and he has ADHD. This is what she says. My son Cooper is my world, and I cannot imagine a day without him. But each day is so hard to deal with his disability. He has to have a regular routine to keep him on track so that he knows what to expect each day. If you present him with something new that is out of the ordinary, he does not take it well. He struggles at school, and mostly because the teachers do not give him the time of day or the help that he really needs. He is grouped into classes with children who do not have ADHD, and it is very hard to explain to Cooper why kids are so fast-paced. Now, looking through research after talking with her, several articles have been reviewed that go over human development, and they all talk about these daily struggles. These daily struggles are where it is determined whether a child can receive prescription drugs or not. If they are able to lead a more normal lifestyle with the prescription drugs, they should be able to take them. Research says that people with ADHD or ADD are less likely to start becoming a substance abuser if they do not need to self-medicate. And this goes back to that study that Gallen and Humphreys did just last year, where they did determine that there are links between substance abuse issues with ADHD because they're trying to cope with their issues and the side effects of their disorder. If they do not feel the need to cope with their disorder because they have the prescription drugs, then they won't have a substance abuse issue. And so this is something that we really need to consider and look at because we want them to feel normal and we want them to lead a happy and successful life. When it comes to the addictive disorders discipline, research has shown that children will not become addicted to the stimulant medication that is prescribed to them if it is used in the correct manner. If used in the wrong way, the stimulants have the possibility of becoming addictive, causing unwanted behavior. Research has shown that there is a correlation in people with ADHD and ADD having substance abuse disorders. When it comes to the human development discipline, parents want their children to maintain the most normal lifestyle that they can. If taking the prescription drug will help them maintain normalcy, parents are all for it. If a child is not prescribed a stimulant, they will find other ways to cope with their day-to-day struggles and will possibly develop a substance abuse disorder. In conclusion, as much as stimulants can be addictive to someone who does not have ADHD, they help people who suffer with ADHD and ADD to have a normal feeling and to lead a normal life. After going through the research process, reading all of the data, the research has answered the complex question: Do we treat children with ADHD or ADD with prescription drugs or not? The answer is yes. You should treat children with prescription drugs if they qualify and you have consent from the child's doctor. This will help them lead the most normal and happy life that they can. It turns out that stimulants are not the problem. People who have substance abuse problems are, and they give prescription drugs like Adderall and Ritalin a bad name. Stimulants that are prescribed to people with ADHD or ADD actually help them and may be the best thing that you can do for them. These are the references that I used to make my thesis paper and to make this presentation. Thank you so much for listening, and I hope you enjoyed it.